Our next speaker in the international contest is Cate Houston. With her speech, Portraits of a Life. Cate Houston, Portraits of a Life.
Contest Chair, ladies and gentlemen. It fell upon the eldest child to give the eulogy. He walked to the front of the church and, with his mother lying silent beside him, began. Millie Maud Houston, aged 77, wife of Rupert Arnold, mother of 4. He talked about her bowling days. He talked about her golfing days. He talked about how, as a young girl, she could run fast and jump fences. He didn't talk about the woman with whom people could share their deepest secrets in safety. The woman who often had someone in her kitchen sharing their soul over a cup of tea. That warm, welcoming kitchen where the smell of fresh baking swirled around you like a wicked genie, and tins of cakes and biscuits stacked neatly on shelves begged you to look inside. The woman who held life lightly and was always ready for a joke and a laugh. He didn't talk about the fear she held of becoming incapacitated by a stroke as her mother had, or the fear that she was going crazy as dementia eroded her short-term memory, leaving her only with clear memories of her distant past. I was privileged to sit over many cups of tea and hear her stories. Before Millie plunged deep into dementia, I asked my sister to go on a road trip with us. Just 3 girls, 3 friends. We travelled back in time and visited Millie's hometown and the old homestead. We hugged and chatted with sisters that she hadn't seen in decades. I watched as the distance time had placed between them melted away. Each morning, before we left our overnight stay, my sister would divert Millie's attention while I unpacked the items that she insisted were hers. It was a dementia thing. Tissues and towels were a favourite, but one morning, tied neatly to the outside of her bag with string, was the toilet brush. My sister is one of those people who can produce foodie treats from her bag like a magician with a rabbit out of his hat. But one afternoon, her magic had run dry. We were on a particularly long, windy stretch of country road. So to help Millie through, she was pointing out the passing fauna and flora, and pointed over into the paddock and said, "Look, Millie, look at the mob of kangaroos over there." Well, straight back at her came, "Why would I want to look at those bloody pests?" Well, we folded over in laughter at this lady next to us. It was so unexpected. Millie had grown up in a family that lived on the land, and unlike us townies, did not consider kangaroos to be cute or curious. That was a trip we would never forget. So I came to understand that the portrait her son held in his heart was different to the one I held in my heart. Like a photo album, we choose which portraits, which pieces of ourselves we show to those around us. We can't share everything with everyone, and it's rarely that someone comes into our lives to whom we can can share a substantial slice of who we are. I've been challenged to think about the portraits, the pieces of myself that I share with those around me. What do my friends see? What do my children see? And importantly to me, what are the portraits, what are the pieces that I want to share with those closest to me before I leave this planet? Since that eulogy, I am mindful of sharing my stories more openly and freely. The regret I felt at leaving a life unspoken at my mother-in-law's funeral has weighed upon me. And I've taken to speaking at funerals as often as the opportunity arises, which seems to be ever so more frequently these days. It's about presenting a more complete picture. Life is composed of many portraits, seen in the eyes of those who share our walk. The only real legacy we leave are the stories that make up those portraits others hold in their hearts.